Yes, the United States has some issues. In the last year or so, we done really showed ourselves out in all of our dirty laundry. Hey Explorers, Kitty the Explorer here, and today I'm gonna talk to you all about how travel has changed me. Before we get into today's video, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and the notification bell right next to it so you're notified when all of my videos are released. On my channel, I talk about travel tips, travel adventures, travel chats, and sometimes some photography. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you'll be notified when my videos are released on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Time and Thursdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And if you're already subscribed, thank you so much for your support. Now let's get into this video. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about 4 different ways travel has changed me, and I have some special guests who have sent in videos of how travel has changed them as well. So the first one is a fun one, the ability to try new foods. So when I was a kid, I was a very, very, very picky eater. Like, we would go to a buffet and everyone would be trying all these different foods, and I would always get like a roll and ham, like very basic stuff, and I would not eat anything else. I mean, as I've gotten older, I have tried other foods and I'm always cooking new things now, but I had no choice while traveling for work or just abroad for fun. You have to try local foods, and it has become a thing. Like, I want to try the local traditional food. I want to try that cuisine. Who knows how my body is gonna take it, but at least I tried it and had some fun and learning about it. One of the best stories was when I went to Belize and we stopped at this small local cafe on the side of the road. I would have never found this place by myself. And we went in there and the owner was just bringing out all these different sauces, these different foods. I can't even remember the name of the food, but it was so good. If I would have just stuck to what I know, I would have probably been having fries somewhere because fries are my thing, okay? And I would also never have ventured to somewhere like that. So ability to try new foods is a whole experience in itself when traveling. All right, the second thing is the decrease in fear of the unknown. So living in the United States, a lot of times on the media, you are shown things about other countries to possibly persuade your opinion based on the way they report it. Yes, they're reporting the news, but it usually triggers people's minds to shift in a different way, if that makes sense. For example, a few years ago, I actually booked a flight deal to Turkey. And it's actually one of the top countries I have been to. I really enjoyed my time there, particularly in Istanbul. And as I was walking out of the office, they were like, my coworkers, they're like, where are you going? And I'm like, I'm going to Istanbul. And they're like, their president's crazy. And I was like, you don't want me to get started on what's going on over here. And they had all these opinions about Turkey. And then when I went there, it was absolutely gorgeous. The people were wonderful. People were nice. I'll never forget how I lost my Fitbit at security in Istanbul airport, and I didn't even know I lost it. But this man from Turkey, saw me drop it, and he hunted me down in the airport just to give it back and didn't even want anything for it. I mean, he hunted me down. It was 20 minutes later. And he was like, oh my God, miss. And he brings me my watch. I'll never forget that. And if I would have been persuaded by people's thoughts here in the United States or the media or what have you, I would have never went there and never experienced such an amazing culture. The unknown is the unknown. I don't know anything about it until my boots are on the ground and I experience it myself. So for me, traveling has decreased the fear of the unknown. Also makes me skeptical of what other people say until I actually go experience it for myself. The third thing is that it has made me stronger because I have done some crazy things while traveling abroad that I would never do here sitting at home. I mean, I would try things like I went on a all-wheel drive in Australia. I went snorkeling at the Great Barrier Reef while I was there too. That I've also had to work on communicating with people who aren't speaking English. So it makes you have to think differently in order to communicate, whether it's using sign language in some type of way. The universal way to get your check at a restaurant is just a sign in the air because they know what that means. So it allows for you to think differently in order to communicate. It allows for you to try different things that you wouldn't do sitting on your butt at home in your house. So it has made me stronger as a person in my mind as well as activity. And lastly, the most important thing is understanding different perspectives. So as you travel around the globe, you learn different cultures, you learn different life perspectives. And I wish everyone would do this, because just think here, being in the US, there are a lot of different cultures, a lot of different backgrounds in this country. But typically, we're kind of like in our silos, even though it's a very cultural, diverse country. Unless you're in a major city, you're typically in your own silo. And even when you're in a major diverse city, yes, you may mingle with these people when you go out, but typically you're around your culture or your upbringing. And so for me, if I would have stuck to that, even though I still tend to be around my type of people and the way I was raised, I would still be in that mindset. Just for instance, I used to tutor a girl here in Atlanta. She had never left her neighborhood. Downtown was less than 10 minutes away and she had never been there. So for her, her mindset was stuck in her small community, and that's all she could see. She couldn't understand someone like me who grew up in a place where there was snow all the time. And I showed her pictures and she was just so amazed. She couldn't understand someone who had like a dog just like as a pet. Like her mindset was completely different because she was stuck in her neighborhood, in her area, in her life. But when you travel outside of your neighborhood, you start to realize the things that you are concerned about at home, those little petty things, are no longer important. There are bigger issues in this world. Yes, the United States has some issues. You know, in the last year or so, we done really showed ourselves out in all of our dirty laundry. But there are some places in this world where I have been and I'm like, you know, I do appreciate home. But then there are some places that I have been like, dang, that's cheap here. They got universal health care. You mean to tell me it wouldn't cost this much for me to go to the hospital? Oh, I don't need a prescription for that. Healthcare is a big one for me when I travel abroad, because I'm like, they sell this in the pharmacy with no prescription, and that just blows my mind. But I mean, there's always pros and cons when you travel abroad, and it either makes you appreciate home or it makes you get mad at home. But you're able to see the bigger picture and how things are interconnected in the globe. It also makes you see how people live in other areas of the world. It allows you to see things in a different perspective that aren't your own when you travel outside of your city, outside of your state, and outside of your country. Those are the 4 things that have changed my life from travel. And now I'm going to show you some videos submitted from some of my travel friends out there in the world. And first is from Latisha, and I am jealous. She just started a sabbatical, y'all. She is living it up. She said, excuse me, US, I'm going to Mexico right now and I'm going to live my best life. So here is a video from Latisha, and she's going to talk about how travel has changed her and what it's done for her. And for each of the people who are in this video, their names will be down at the bottom. And also I will give a link to their Instagram or YouTube if they have one. So let's send it off to Latisha.
Hi Keita, this is Latisha with Latisha's Voice. And you asked, how has travel changed my life? I tell you that it has been such an eye-opener to help me to be able to appreciate differences, appreciate culture, and it puts things into perspective, lets us know that the world is so much bigger than just us. There's so many things to learn, to see, to do, and just to appreciate. And I'm always looking to learn something new. I'm always looking to make this world a better place and also just live my best life. And I'm coming to you from sunny Mexico. I'm on my sabbatical. So I can tell you firsthand that travel is currently changing my life. I'm here on a self-care journey, and I'm looking forward to every single moment of it. Thanks, bye.
Hello everyone, my name is Shaunte and I'm the owner of Fearless Travel Boutique, and I'm super excited to share how travel has changed me. So one thing about travel is that for me, it brings joy and happiness before during, and after the trip. So before the trip, I'm super excited because I'm learning about a new destination. I'm planning and looking at different hotels. I'm picking my outfits. I'm putting in my PTO. And so I'm super excited before the trip and getting ready for the trip. And then once I get there, it's another excitement because you're learning new cultures, you're trying new food. And one of my favorite parts is spending time with someone who you truly care about, or maybe one of your closest friends. Then when you come home, it still doesn't end, because then when you come home, you get to share that story over and over again with your family and friends, whether you post it on Instagram. So you literally are impacted by travel throughout this whole journey of once you say, okay, I'm going to this destination, until you come back. So that's one way that it has changed me. Number two, I also own a travel company. So I'm literally doing something with travel every day. Whether I'm looking for a travel deal, whether I'm planning a trip for a client, whether I saw something on Instagram and I'm like, oh, let me look into that. Whether I'm on Pinterest, just looking up different destinations. So I'm literally always doing something with travel. It makes me happy. And I also want to share that with other people.
Hi, so my name is Shoshanna and I am a flight attendant for a major US airline. And one of the questions that I get a lot is, how has travel changed me? And the biggest thing I would say is that travel has made me a stronger individual, a more independent individual. And that's because when I travel, I experience different cultures, environments, different people, and myself, I have to adapt to that like on my own. That being said, if I didn't travel, I would never come out of my shell. I would never know how to approach different situations or learn about different cultures or different people, because I've never experienced it. And travel affords me that lesson, essentially, to do that. So I think without travel, I wouldn't be able to be such a strong, powerful, independent woman.
So I hope you enjoyed this video and learned some things about how travel can possibly change you. And thank you so much to the wonderful travelers who have submitted their videos as well. I hope you learned from them as well. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Also, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below in the comment box. And lastly, make sure you share this video with your friends, family, and your social media networks so they can get in on this chat as well. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day or night wherever in the world you are.